I don't know what the fucking intro was, but I'm going a little bit stir crazy with all this quarantine stuff going on. And I hope you guys have been doing well with your own quarantine. I know that there's been a lot of different suggestions and regulations depending on what country you're in. Here in Boston, we have some suggestions, not necessarily enforcements right now, but things around masks, things around curfew. Obviously, restaurants have limited service and certain hours for elderly just to make sure that they have their own space that minimizes their ability to get infected. So we do have some things in place. They haven't been, strictly enforced, but it seems that people are, for the most part, respecting them. And I think that's a good thing, especially as we head into summer, weather starts getting nicer. It's gonna be harder to do that, but I think we just need to really respect what our governments and the CDC has been saying so that things do improve and we do get to enjoy our summer. So with all this sort of move towards everyone being cognizant of how sanitary they are and things in the air, it did remind me of something that I got for Christmas. And it's something that I never really brought out of the box. And it's not because I didn't appreciate it. It's because I was basically flying to Minnesota every week and I didn't really have time to bring that into my bag. And I just always forgot to set it up when I was home here in Boston. But it does have sort of a relevance today, again, like I said, based on everyone's cognition of like germs and bacteria and things like that, and that's the Phonesoap. So this product is supposedly supposed to use UVC rays to help sanitize your phone and other products, and 5 to 10 minutes it should be able to kill most of the bacteria. As I thought about that a little bit more, I realized how much and where my phone is a lot. So we use our phones all the time. Obviously they're using hands, we share them with people to show them a video. We drop them all the time and, we don't really clean them. Like maybe my phone gets clean when I listen to it in the shower. I'm not sure, but probably this phone is disgusting. And, we hold this up to our face and, it's always around our hands and mouth and all this other sort of stuff. So it is a concern in terms of being sanitary. So the Phonesoap is actually a very, very interesting product, especially in these times, and they have a wide range of products, which we'll get into later. But the reason why I wanted to make this a review is to really validate their claims and see if they actually do provide the same benefit that their website says. And the way that I'm going to do that is going to be using like a middle school, high school experiment using agar plates. Not agar. I'm not trying to make a raindrop cake, just agar. So agar plates are essentially a good place to grow bacteria. So being able to use sanitized cotton swabs to collect things with distilled water onto a device or surface and then putting them on the agar to grow. So once that agar grows the bacteria, it kind of looks like this. So hopefully the colonies will be bigger because I did swab my entire phone and case, but we'll get into the experiment after I talk a little bit more about what Phonesoap does as well as what they offer in terms of different products. So Phonesoap comes in a few different variations, and the way that I see it based off what I look in the website, it just really comes down to speed and capacity. So you have 3 products, the wireless, the Go, and the Phonesoap 3, which just fit any device but are designed to kind of fit their smallest use case and be most portable or just be the least space taken up in your home. And then you have your medium-sized case, which is your Phone Pro, or your Phonesoap Pro, which is the one that I have. And that just basically gives you a bigger bay, as well as a couple more lights so that it sanitizes quicker. So the bigger bay does help you put in more products like headphones and things like that. But once we get into the Pro, I'll show you more about the capability of what they can fit. And then they have the biggest version, which essentially holds tablets and things like that. So in terms of the smallest sizing, I think it starts at around $80 for the Phonesoap 3. That's their flagship home, least amount of space sort of product that fits most phones, actually all phones. but it's just made to stick at home, and no extra features, but it does sanitize your phone within 10 minutes, and also has automatic shut off, so you don't have to worry about it really overheating or anything like that. They do have other variations that are wireless compatible. So there is the Phonesoap wireless, which is exactly the same as the 3, but it has wireless charging. So if you are someone that has the key standard chargers, it might be something that you're into. But it comes at I think about $20 bump. So if you want that, it just depends if that's important to you. And then you also have your Phonesoap Go, which is essentially a mobile version of it. So I think it's more ruggedized. It has a carrying case along with it, and that's probably better for your travel. That's something that's probably been better if I had it, because I did travel so often, and that it just fits in your bag real easy, and I don't have to worry about it breaking. Okay, so checking in post here, I neglected to mention a really important feature regarding the Phonesoap Go, and that's the fact that it can work off the wall. So I don't need to have it plugged in, I just need to have a charge on it. And I think that's a super beneficial feature that I neglected to mention, and it's probably its best selling point, is that I can be in a train, in a plane, in a meeting, wherever, and I can still sanitize my phone on the fly rather than be tethered to the wall. So sorry I missed that, but it's there for sure. However, they do only fit one phone, and they do have limited capacity. So that gets into the biggest model, which goes into tablets and water bottles. So I have friends that, are worried about their tablets, or even some of them don't even use water bottles because they're worried that they can't sanitize it properly or clean it properly. I don't understand that necessarily, but I get it, kind of. Like I don't think that water bottles, I can just wash a water bottle, but some people have a little bit more germ phobia. But the home version of the Phonesoap seems to be able to handle a pretty decent sized water bottle as well as tablets. So larger things that you may be encountered in your home, that would be good to just keep in the corner if you want to sanitize it, and it'll sanitize in 10 minutes. And then finally we get into the version that I have, which is the medium size case, which I think is probably the best in terms of everyday use. It's not something that I'd take along with me on a trip, but it's something that I would keep in next to my bedstand. So the Pro version, I think, has the good benefit of fitting everything, as well as fitting a bunch of different combinations. So let's get into the Pro version specifically and see what the major benefits of it are. The Phonesoap Pro is built predominantly out of plastic and has a glossy finish. It weighs about 500 grams and houses 4 UVC lights and a vacuum-plated aluminum bay for maximum reflectivity. The top is adorned with a lightning bolts indicator that lets you know when it's active. The device automatically shuts down after about 10 minutes to prevent overheating, but will continue to charge any connected devices. The Phonesoap Pro is larger than the Phonesoap 3, coming in at just under 10 inches long and 6 inches wide. The overall package does not take up much room on the table and is ideal for a nightstand or side table. Using its included charging adapter, the case can be charged via USB-C. It also has a USB-A and a USB-C out to charge your devices while sanitizing. I love that they included a USB-C for versatility, but I do wish that they had higher amp output. Both only push out 5 volts at 1 amp. The side of the device has a pass-through port to allow for charging cables. Phonesoap added a little sealing tab to this port to reduce any light leakage. I love that the port is accommodating and can even hold thicker braided cables with no problem. The bay is well designed, but is a fingerprint magnet. I don't really think you can avoid this because you need that mirror-like finish to be effective here. The bay is quite spacious at 7.13 inches long, 4.38 inches wide, and 0.72 inches high. The bay is slightly curved, so chunkier devices should be set towards the middle of the device where there is more headroom. The following is a quick montage to show what can fit inside the bay. While a lot of things can fit inside the bay, truly chunky things such as battery packs will require you to step up to the home soap, which can fit a wider range of devices. Lastly, the Phonesoap Pro has acoustic outlets to let you hear music and alarms while the case is closed. It really works well. Check this out. This particular part is filmed after I did the experiment, but it is something I want to mention before we get into the details of the experiment. So I don't really have much qualms in terms of its overall build and the function and the size. Overall, I think they did think about all great features in terms of having that pass through, having the ability to listen to your music or your alarm through it. It's all very well thought through. Even the magnet, how strong it is, it just makes you understand that it's closed. But the overall package is very sleek. I kind of wish that there was a little bit of grip on it just to make sure I didn't, drop it or it slid off the table. Because the thing that happened was when I was shooting the actual amplification feature, I couldn't open this with one hand. Like, the magnet was super strong. So as a result, I slid it off the table and it snapped. Well, it didn't snap, but the hinge, there's a piece that broke off. Luckily, I did the experiments already and I didn't have to worry about it impacting the performance, but it did break. So there's some build quality issues if you smack it on a hard surface, but for most use cases, you wouldn't be doing that with the Pro since this is something that you're supposed to kind of just stick in one place. It does have rubber feet, which do help with that. But again, it's pretty slick, so it's just something you need to keep in mind when considering this product. Sorry, another thing I noticed during post was that when I was using my Bluetooth headphones when it was inside the case, it would actually have a significant deterioration in quality and connectivity. So that might just be the build quality of the case itself, but if you're using it for the audio amplification feature, it's gonna work great. It's gonna work as a speaker, or at least give you ventilation so you can hear your phone. But if you're using Bluetooth headphones, it's gonna reduce the range dramatically. So it's just something to keep in mind. Not really a big issue because it's only gonna be in there for 5 minutes, but you may have some interrupted service. Just a heads up. So unfortunately in post, what I was noticing is that this video is getting extremely long. And I didn't want to make it so that people lost track of the information and it was too big to digest. So I'm going to split this video into 2 pieces. The first part is going to be around what we just talked about in terms of the Phonesoap product line, as well as the deep dive into the Phonesoap Pro's dimensions, capabilities, and things like that. And the next video will be a little bit more about UVC and what it does, as well as the actual experiment itself with the results. I don't mean to keep you guys on a cliffhanger like that, and never like that myself when I'm watching YouTube videos, but it's just too long. So, and there's a logical break here because I do have to let those agar plates grow the bacteria, so I can give you more live reactions about how everything performed. So I'm going to be splitting up this into 2 videos. I hope you guys don't mind, but yeah, next week they'll be there. So if you stay tuned, you'll be able to see. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. There's been so many more subscribers and comments and suggestions, and I'm keeping a list of all this stuff. So I've been really appreciating all the support, especially in times like this. It's kind of cool to interact with you guys and get your inputs and try to put them into the videos as well. But please like, comment, subscribe, bell, do all the things that you normally do on a video that you like and love. And I will see you soon. Really soon, actually, because I think it kind of goes stacked. So yeah, peace. Appreciate you.